turn 25. I almost screwed up entirely, but fortunately I was able to save the day. But I did lost a hero, so that was the lost library fight I said should be a doable. But I made several mistakes, and one was that I thought I had prepared my troops before, but actually I had not chosen the upgrades for my leader, and the same for my hero. So I should have taken Forger Prone, and because there were a lot of fire damage units, and I should have taken. I thought Dreadnought had break control, but looks like not. So with my rogue hero I should have taken break control, because I entered the fight without break control, and there is an evangelist in the fight, so I was always under a threat of being converted, and this influenced a lot how I played, and actually you will see. So if they had not charged on the first round, it would have been very, very different, but they did charge on first round, and when they charge on first round in the Lost Library, it can become very difficult quite quickly, especially if your units are not positioned in the way you want. And in this case I wanted to split them with Spy Drone, and he was there, and I wanted to have the serpents on the same side as me. So I had my two slowest units on both sides, the Prospector and the Spy Drone, so I could not have both split in the same side. So I tried to move in the middle, but actually I perfectly know from experience that this doesn't work, because they move on the middle, and then you don't have enough movement points to reach the other side. But still I did it. So that was the first mistake. I should probably have sent the serpent more on the right, and maybe do the split with the serpent and not the Spy Drone, and then I would have had the Spy Drone on the left and the serpent on the right. But I really want to keep the serpent alive, because it can evolve into a T4, and a very strong T4, so that's not to be neglected. So I put a lot of priority on the serpent, and it led to the death of my hero, so we'll see if the trade-off was good or not. At least the hero, I can get another one in a few turns. So there were 4 apprentices and 1 evangelist, so it's quite potent mix. 3 apprentices, sorry, and 1 reanimator, and reanimator is also good because he can also raise cadaver. And that's a Draconian evangelist, so that's one of the worst, because he has range damage, whereas other evangelists you can just move around, and they will not be able to attack because they have only melee attack. So at that point I decided, let's retreat the serpent. I thought about it a lot, and then I said, let's just retreat the serpent, because if I move here I will take double 3 strikes from these 2 guys, and if I move there I will take risks that he's killed afterwards and not be able to fight back. But in retrospect I think I should not have sent him here in the first place, and then even at this point I should have moved back on the right. Then I wanted to split them in 2 groups, but it didn't succeed. You can see that my leader has 100% shock resistance, and he was actually at 40% fire protection. So if I had taken the boost as I should, for Japron as I should, it would have been 80% fire protection. My other units also would be high on fire protection, and it should have been quite different, I think, also, especially with my rogue. And also one more thing to say is that there is this anti-magic field, which means I cannot cast any spell, including quick dash, from my rogue hero, which would have made a big difference also. So it was really a tough, very tough Lost Library. Usually it's not that difficult, because that's very difficult units to fight, Battle Enchantment, and then they charge me on the first round. So I I retreated my 4 units, and instead of going for my spy drone, they all went for my 4 units. Probably because my spy drone was too far away. But I wanted to keep him alive, that's why I put him quite far away. So here again, one other mistake, I should have stayed closer and take more hits with it. And maybe sacrifice it if needed, because it's better to lose a spy drone than a hero. So at this point I bring back the spy drone, but it's too late. They will not attack it, and I start moving forward. And then I'm thinking very deeply how to do it best. So I try to stay away as much as possible from the evangelist, and try not to put my units adjacent to one another, because they would be able to hit each other with melee strikes if they are converted. I can move my leader closer because he has mind control immunity. And also I want to keep my Boar Raider on guard to get +3 resistance and decrease the chance of being converted. And somehow it works, because it doesn't try to convert me, and instead he heals the apprentice. So I was thinking the apprentice is going to die, because he's going to attack me or retreat, and then he's going to die. But sorry, it's a lag, it's not moving very smoothly. So somehow something different happened, and he was just healed, and then he was able to attack my hero. So I had not taken the heal into account. And yeah. And my leader went here and guarded to be able to strike these two guys when they try to escape. And so now, yeah, they just attack my hero and kill it. But actually, even if this guy had not been killed, I mean, the hero would probably still be dead, because this guy could also just move. But at the same time, you can observe that I position myself here so that if they cannot move here without being in my line of control and being engaged. So it was quite a good defensive positioning, but still. So then he tried to kill my prospector. So at this stage I'm 5 versus 4, including a spy drone, so I'm quite in trouble. And then here I made one more mistake, but not that important, because at this moment yeah. So the mistake is that this guy was immolated, so he was going to die on the next turn. I forgot about it, and I realized it just after I killed it. So here I killed the apprentice, because now at this stage I really need to kill some units to decrease their numerical advantage. And I do not move here because then I would be flanked. So I move here, and I do not use pistol because it would not be enough to kill it. But actually I could have used pistol and the prospector if I had watched better, but it's actually more or less the same. Then with the prospector I move as far away as I can, so that the evangelist would have to enter here to try to convert me. But still it would mean, if he converts me, it means that my leader would be flanked and then double flanked, and so it was quite dangerous. But I was lucky and he didn't try to convert me. And also my leader had no more movement points because he had been attacked by the reanimator on the previous turn, which drained his action points. So at this stage spy drone came, was quite close, and the evangelist tried to kill it. So maybe it saved my day, because otherwise it may have converted the prospector and then the flank I just described. So then I'm 3 versus 3. But my remaining units are relatively strong. And then I was not sure about Slip Away. I was thinking it's probably, when you use it, it means you just have only 1 action point left. But actually it's not written very clearly. It says does not cost action points. So I used it, and I was actually lucky to end up just behind the apprentice. So I should definitely be more aware about these abilities, because it could have been quite dangerous also. but I was lucky I ended up just behind him and I was able to kill it. Actually not kill this one, but kill the other one. So yeah, slip away to heal, and then used my musket to kill one of the apprentice. Then hit the other one so that if he tries to escape, there are good chances that he's going to be killed by my leader, and do even more damage to make sure that he's going to be killed if he tries to escape. And I position myself so that I cannot be flanked by the evangelist. But then the evangelist uses his fire against me, and then that's the end of the fight basically. So with careful movements and despite a few additional mistakes, I was able to finish the fight with only 2 losses, the spy drone, which is not a big loss, and my hero, which is a big loss. So I've got -25 morale, Empire happiness, and I lost a good hero, which would have been able to charm his way, so it's a shame. But still I got Seed of Distrust as a reward, as well as 39 research points. So as I said on the previous turn, I'm finishing Produce Musketeers in 2 turns in total, so in 1 more turn. I moved my leader here because he has floating, then cast, but I realized that a bit too late. Then I cast the spy drone, took the gold, about 130 gold, and moved there. And I will take the mana and do the in with this unit. Actually, it's maybe a bit stupid to have put the spy drone behind. Would have been better to have him with me, with the rest of my units. Then maybe I will do the additional lost library. So I've got a lot of lost library in my area. Then I did 2 more fights with my other army. So one was Brigand Hideout, killed everyone. My archery leveled up. Then second one was Necromantic Circle, killed everyone. My Theocrat leveled up. I had calculated my movement points to be able to reach that with 6 units, and used the haste berries. And so next turn I'm doing the watchtower, then this, and I hope to have 1 more level for my Theocrat, so I hope to reach level 9 here, and maybe the same for him, so I'll reach maybe level 11, but it will be more difficult. And then here I'm building a watchtower so that this watchtower will be out of sight of this watchtower, but they will cover a very wide area and then cover the giant dwelling, but not inside the giant dwelling, so that if someone else controls the giant dwelling, I may be able to keep the watchtower for 1 turn at least and see the army. And here I'm going to settle there, and I will be able to see the surroundings of the city, so it's a good spot, and also see if something is coming from here. Then I'm not so sure what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to move west, so to clear this sites and build a fortress here, and then get out of the underground here and then go attack Jonny, I think, but I will see how it's going. Also, with this spy drone I decided, so I checked the outpost, it's defended by at least 2 ice capers, so I cannot do them. So I decided to move through the water and get to the dragon dwelling and cast Seed of Distrust on it, so that Jonny cannot get it. And so I'm going to refuse their quests, because I cannot go and do it. And I hope by refusing it I will get other quests from my giant dwelling and my dwarf vassal more quickly. I hope my spy drone is not going to be killed by the roamers, but as he's in the middle of the mountain it's not likely, and even though they have the movement points to reach me. Here the Frostlings changed hands, I think. So now it's Saint Ajora who is controlling them. I think it's marcuspers, but I'm not sure. So yeah, that's it for this turn.